Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. Today we are talking about Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. I actually went and watched it yesterday, and I'm actually in a unique position of being somebody who watched both Space Jams for the first time in one day. Now, I'm a bit too young to have been around when the first Space Jam was initially released. I was born a few years after it came out, so I didn't get to experience that movie as a child, which I guess is what the Space Jam movies were made for children. Obviously, the Looney Tunes is a cartoon aimed at kids. But what I did take from watching the first Space Jam yesterday before I went and watched A New Legacy is that it was a film about basketball, meant to be a little funny, a little goofy, not take itself too seriously, and just be fun, I guess. Like it knew what it was. It knew it was like a trolley film made for kids and made to make you laugh and have a good time. And it also, was meant to endear you to Michael Jordan, who at the time was the greatest athlete in the world. Presently, LeBron James is the greatest athlete in the world. So, they decided to reignite the Space Jam franchise with him. And I was pretty excited because as a LeBron fan, I was like, finally get to see LeBron, doing something other than basketball. And I will lead out with saying LeBron wasn't awful. Like his acting was actually pretty good for a athlete or a celebrity. There's plenty of like these non-acting celebrities, if you will, that come and do films and they're just terrible. And I think his performance might have even been better than Michael Jordan's. But who cares about that? It's not really the comparison we're here for. We're here to talk about Space Jam 2, and it was really underwhelming for me. Like I said, I literally watched them back to back. Straight away, I will say this film is so unnecessarily long. Like it's literally 2 hours long. The first one is like an hour and 20 because I discount the credits because no one watches the credits. The new one is 2 hours long and it's so unnecessarily long. Like there's a whole build up to a really average story that could have been good, but they didn't seemingly put any effort into the story. The story is just so basic. On the surface of it, the story could have been good. LeBron's son gets kidnapped by a rogue computer algorithm and he's forced to play basketball to win him back. And, that could have been a great storyline. Unfortunately, they butchered the whole storyline. They made LeBron seem kind of like the villain. Like, I don't know if LeBron is the hero in this film or not. In the first one, it was very obvious. Michael Jordan, he's the hero. He saves the Looney Tunes from these aliens who want to kidnap them. Here, LeBron is like fighting with "Is he a good dad?" You hear the phrase fundamentals about 57 times. You have to have good fundamentals, good fundamentals. And I guess the moral of the story is sometimes you have to think outside the box. But then the moral of the story is also you can't be LeBron and you can't live up to his standards. So just be yourself. Very profound morals we have in this film. Another thing that was really annoying is like every 2 seconds there's a reference, whether it's to another Warner Bros. Movie or franchise, Harry Potter, the Iron Giant, the DC Universe. I mean, King Kong, there was everything. They were showing every scene, with a Looney Tunes character in it. Or whether it was a basketball reference to LeBron, leaving Cleveland or going to Miami or leaving the Lakers. It was just a movie that had references every 2 seconds, which was kind of annoying because if you don't get the references, then it's a little pointless. Like, I'm sure a lot of the kids who went to see this film, they don't understand the references. But from what I'm hearing, the kids actually like the film, so, can't fault that. That's what it was there for. It really just came off as a massive flex fest from the Warner Bros. Honestly. Like, constantly showing, oh, we own this, and we own this, and we own this. And but all that really makes it seem is like a money grab or an advertisement to maybe future films or other franchises they have, which, kind of takes the shine away. I was there to watch a basketball film with my favorite basketball player, not see what I saw. Just leading on a little bit more about like how it made LeBron look like I said, the first Space Jam made Michael Jordan relatable. He was this superhero who came and saved the Looney Tunes from being abducted by aliens and taken to a slavery planet. This film, LeBron is kind of the villain and the hero in many ways. Like at the start, he is the villain because he's trying to force his son to go to basketball camp or some shit, and he's saying fundamentals, 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 fundamentals. If you don't have fundamentals, you can't be a basketball player, which is great. But then, his son thinks he doesn't appreciate him. His son thinks he doesn't want him to do what he wants, etc. So it kind of paints LeBron out to be this bad father figure, which kind of contradicts what he is in real life because, as far as I know, he is perceived as a very good father. He's always at his children's games. I mean, there's plenty of people who never show up to their kids' basketball games and stuff, and the man is probably as busy as anyone in the world, yet he still goes. As far as I know, he's a pretty good dad, although I'm not his son, so I don't have first-hand experience. But it didn't really endear LeBron, like I said. He kind of seemed like the villain plenty of times. Like he was the guy holding back the Looney Tunes squad too because he was trying to teach them fundamentals and not letting them be who they are. And like I said, it kind of just leads the message and the theme of the film. You can't be LeBron, so don't try to be LeBron. Just be you. And I guess that's what we're getting at here. LeBron is an unattainable standard, which I guess he is in terms of basketball. I mean, no one's gonna be as good as LeBron. I mean, he's arguably the greatest ever. But it was just a weird message. I was hoping it would be like the first one where LeBron was like the hero and he saved maybe his son and the Looney Tunes, right? But instead, it was kind of pitched as him against his son, and the only time his son finally went converted and joined his side was when the algorithm, who was kind of brainwashing his son, turned into what LeBron was at the start of the film. So I'm not sure if LeBron's the villain or not. I don't think it made him look too good. A lot of people kind of already question LeBron's character a little bit in real life. Some people are unsure if he's really a nice guy or this or that. Obviously, he has a history of certain incidents and whatnot in terms of like basketball with his teammates and stuff. Outside in personal life, he seems like a pretty squeaky clean guy, but he has got a reputation for being a bit abrasive and whatnot. And it kind of this movie didn't really do much to repair that character. Like it didn't make him seem anything that if in fact it probably made him seem worse to be honest. In terms of some positives, if there is any, I have to give a shout out to firstly to LeBron for like like I said, the acting was pretty good. Like he didn't like make me go ooh like cringe. I didn't cringe at his acting. He seemed like he was putting an effort, even with like the animated voice, and he put expressions. There was a lot of screenshot clips you could take that could have been memes in that film. In terms of other acting, I think it was fine. Don Cheadle, he actually was pretty good in his role. I never expected him to do that. His character was a bit weird, but like he played it very well. I give him that. And all the other characters were pretty good. It was kind of like a Walking Dead recast. There was a bunch of Walking Dead actors in the film. Notably, LeBron's wife was, I believe, the woman who played her was in Walking Dead, and Stephen Yeun, the guy who played Glenn, was also in this film, briefly, of course, and Sarah Silverman. Like, it was just a weird show off actors. The movie is kind of like a flex, and there was this weird joke of Michael B. Jordan. Like, okay, it wasn't funny. You could see it coming a mile away. Like if you knew Michael B. Jordan was in the film, once they tried to set up with the joke, it was like, haha, Michael B. Jordan, not Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Oh, you know, uh, that was funny, I guess. But like I said, the film was too long. The story could have been great. Like it really could have been if it was like similar to the first one, but they could have amped it up on a different level. Like one thing, I LeBron would have had to beat this team, but not his son on the other team and making it a head to head thing. I think that was kind of bad. The whole basketball game lasted way, way too long. I would have preferred it to be more like regular basketball, not this weird video game version where you gotta do 360 no scope dunks to win the game. It was a little weird. I guess it could have been a cool concept, but they kind of butchered it. And then his son cheated and amped up all his stats. So really and truly, it wasn't a fair fight. I guess neither was the first one, which kind of is meant to show how good LeBron is because he doesn't have to change anything of his stats. And then he kind of intertwined all the NBA and WNBA players with animals, and Anthony Davis was a bird, and Dame Lillard was a walking time stopping clock. It was weird. I wish we got more story from the basketball players. Like we saw Dame Lillard and Anthony Davis and all these people like a little more. But at the end of the day, that is what it is. The story, like I said, could have been good. They put no effort into making it good. Like none of them. There was no effort put into this film in terms of story whatsoever. It seemed like we're gonna flex and reference everything we can, and people will come and see it anyway because it has LeBron. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy this movie. I'd say I'd give it like a 4 out of 10. I didn't like actively sit there looking at my watch waiting for the film to finish, which I have done at other movies. I will say I have done that at certain other movies like Jurassic World 2. Oh yeah, Jurassic World 2. That's all I got to say on this, man. If you watched it, you let me know what you thought. And yeah, I'll see you all next time.